What time is it?
It's big slappy time.
Fade into you. No, that's off key.
You know who ruined that song?
Who ruined it?
Yeah.
Who?
J.D. Vance loves that song.
Does he?
Yeah.
See, that's interesting. That makes me feel like
he's a Mazzy Starhead.
What's that?
He's a Mazzy Starhead.
Interesting. That makes me think he's less of a truly soulless husk and more of a wild sellout opportunist. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to...
Which do you think is worse?
Oh, man.
Because if you're really a soch, there's nothing you can really do about it.
I think
it's almost worse to be a sellout because you're like, oh no, I'm like, know that I'm evil.
Yeah, it is hard because you think about like true socs, they're just like, I don't listen to music. I don't care about dogs. I don't like that kind of thing is a little bit more straight.
You think sociopaths don't listen to music?
No, but I think, you know how sometimes people, if they just are like, I mean, Trump loves YMCA, but is he really like, how often do you think people are listening to music? I think matters as far as what kind of person you are. But I don't think, no, I think sociopaths can certainly enjoy music.
Well, you just said, I don't get what you're saying.
I guess I mean someone who has no connection to this.
They're not emotionally moved by it, but
Right.
they may still think it's fun.
Mazzy Star feels like the kind of artist where I think you have a little something because it stirs you. It's not like.
No, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. So to appreciate beauty.
Haunting and melodic.
Very haunting.
Fade into you.
Now we're on the zero.
Strange you never knew. Hi, I'm Mazzy Star here for Coca-Cola Zero.
And I'm J.D. Vance.
Zero sugar. Wow. We took all the good stuff out.
I'm Hillbilly Elegy.
You sure are.
Wait, we have to, before we get into anything else.
Wait, where was... Okay.
No, go ahead. What?
Where was Hillbilly Elegy? I know it's Appalachia.
Ohio, I believe. I think he's an Ohio guy. Because then he did... I saw this movie, but I watched it... I think it was like after not sleeping for a while. So I don't really remember it. But the movie with Glenn Close...
Oh, yeah.
Like he really... I mean, he had nothing to do with it, I would guess, at that point. But somebody did her dirty. Who directed that movie? Somebody. Ron Howard.
I think it probably had a director.
It probably had someone. It might have been Ron Howard.
Do you really think that's Ron Howard?
Let's check.
We just saw Ron Howard last night in the...
down the bar.
No, in the John Candy doc. This week we watched the Martin Short doc and the John Candy doc, and they were kind of like...
There's a lot of overlap.
Companion pieces because the SCTV kind of Second City overlap.
Almost interesting, like the timing of releasing. Yeah, it is Ron Howard directing Hillbilly
I was
Elegy.
just looking that up. Wow. I was like, yeah, right.
Couldn't believe it.
No, that actually makes sense.
Yeah, it's a curious timing of the Martin Short because Short's alive. Candy makes sense that this doc would have been, and I guess the Candy doc came out a little while ago.
Just being like, because he's dead, but it's not like he just died.
No, you're right. He died a long time
94?
ago. It almost feels like somebody, I wonder if there's any overlap in the production side of these two docs, because it seems like we were saying there's a lot of the interviews. It's almost like they were doing the Candy, they're giving the Candy treatment, and they're like, you know what?
Andrea Martin looked different, like the interview, but the Eugene Levy, it could have just been that it looked similar, but it actually looked like they were pulling from the same interview.
Yeah, which, I mean...
But that's crazy for docs.
That is kind of crazy to do.
Unless that were like an archival interview that they were using parts of, but you presume that they're interviewing him for that.
For that, yeah. Well,
story.
Yeah, and it seemed like they're besties, because then Tom Hanks was in both of them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Hanks.
A lot of Hanks.
A lot of Chet. I sent you that Chet.
I was going to bring that up.
So Chet.
That was powerful.
Chet's a country star now.
I didn't know, but you're right. He was at Stagecoach too, so I guess it is country. But there's another song of his I heard that I wouldn't have clocked it as country. But I guess pop country now is a big
Pop
tent.
country's a whole tent, yeah, because there's there's teardrop tattoos. Mm-hmm. There's I forget his name, whatever, the teardrops. Blumpkin, what the hell is his name?
What?
Country Blumpkin. What the fuck is that guy's?
Country
He's always
Blumpkin?
like, he went in front of Congress and was like, yo, fentanyl.
Is good? More. Give
more
us more.
More fent, please. He was like, I know what it's like to be addicted, so I like that you're going to
put
arrest
everyone in
people
jail.
and get the cartels. Yeah.
Wow.
What the fuck is that guy's name?
What
Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll.
Mr. Roll.
Interesting.
But I'm saying the country now. Country used to even, in our heyday, it was Garth. And like
Johnny Cash was Johnny Cash.
But you know what I mean? Like there was like that rebel country, and then there was the pop country. But pop country was still like a fucking cowboy hat and a
then there's like
a pickup.
Woody Guthrie country.
Yes,
where you're like it couldn't be more left.
That's right.
The country roots.
Yeah, the country roots. I think
is that even called country, or is that something like folk?
Folk.
What is bluegrass?
Folk. I don't know. Like country folk.
Country folk? I don't know what anything really is.
Yeah, but I think you're right that Guthrie falls into, he would be on more the Bob Dylan Spotify channel than the like Garth Brooks.
But I feel like does not have country roots?
I think so.
That kind of like.
Yeah. Waylon
Bob
Jennings.
borrowed heavily from like the old.
old.
Borrowed is a kindness I'm doing for Bob.
Beg, borrow, stole. Before we get into any of this, though, I can't get this image of Travolta out of my mind.
His new look.
I mean, forget, because Chet, we know. Chet's doing Chet. So what I just wanted to finish about saying that is the Tom Hanks Chet video was basically
the
Forrest
listeners,
Gump. Like,
go find, the
Run,
Chet
Forrest,
Hanks,
run.
Yeah, he borrowed like the characters from Forrest Gump, and he's running. And Tom Hanks is sitting on the bench with him, and he's like,
he kind of is rolling his eyes at
running.
first, but then he's like, okay, I'm on board with this. Like, it's like this weird thing where Tom.
Well, he's obviously endorsing it. He's in the video.
Sure. But I think he's almost speaking, as he often does, for the everyman, where you're looking at this saying,
this is silly.
I don't know about this. Then you're like, but give it a shot. It's my son.
I don't mind that. I mean, I think of Tom Hanks as a huge pud, and I felt warmth toward him recently seeing that Stagecoach video of Chet playing his questionable music.
Yep.
And Tom was just dancing in the... I mean, everything's a psyop now. So
yeah, who knows?
Somebody was probably like, it'll probably look really good if you support your weird son. But it looked nice that he was supporting his weird son.
It did.
And I love Chet. You know I'm a Chet head.
Big Chet head. We're Chet heads in this house.
Wish you were my son.
We could adopt him.
Let's adopt Chet Hanks.
So Travolta's look here. Now this is at he debuts a new look at Cannes.
He was at Cannes
Film Festival. Now I don't.
It's an aggressive beret.
It's well, it's almost like it's a half Kangol, half beret. Yes. Like.
Well, there's no brim.
No, you're right. On the back, I can't really see the back. It looks like it. No, you're right. It's a floppy beret. It's an aggressive.
I mean, what are they calling it in the media?
That hat kind of fresh. John Travolta made a rare appearance at the Cannes Film Festival alongside his daughter. They're not really calling it Jean Travolta, Jean. Yeah, I can smell the cocoa butter from here. That's Vinny from Jersey Shore. Anyway, yeah,
Is that about the massage stuff with Travolta? How he chased his masseuse around and whipped him with a towel?
No, but it should be. Remember how that article was written was very like erotica. It was like he bounds across with a
and like
with his
lunges
manhood.
lasciviously.
Yes.
Why can't I say that word? Lasciviously at the masseuse. No, but there was a long allegedly string of young men in L.A. saying that they would be doing massage or spa treatments on him, and he would make passes at them that were pretty predatory. Is that correct?
I think that's 100% true.
Alleged.
100% allegedly true.
100% allegedly alleged.
People had alleged. It's 100% true that several people alleged that. And also, it kind of tracks with the Scientology, where I know some people were raised in it, which is a little different. But when you look at Tom Cruise and Travolta, they were kind of 1A, 1B for a while with Scientology. And that was the whole thing with the auditing, right? I mean, that was like they had them on being closeted, which I don't even know if Tom Cruise is.
I don't think Tom is.
No. Travolta certainly is. Tom probably has some other shit that they've got on him, or he just is on board with Scientology.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that OT. He's like, I'm on the level of
I am Lord.
Whereas Travolta is just, I think, being blackmailed or was being blackmailed. The chin strap, I mean, the outfit's one thing. The suit is like whatever. But there's a cream beret that's aggressive with the little the wire rimmed spectacles. But the the chin strap.
There was a purple beret too. He had a new look like all weekend.
He went for it.
Yeah. I understand the impetus to cover that hair. He has like the really bad plugs, you know?
This looks like he's like shaved his head totally too, but yeah. Like
yeah.
You can't see. I mean,
that's
you can't see.
That's giving like a bunchy foreskin.
It is. It really is.
But look at the purple one.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see? He had like two.
He had a couple looks he was going for.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you find something that works, get it in every color.
I like that move. Yeah, he had the plugs. He had the strange.
He had the one where it looked like they stapled like a brown bath mat to his head.
Yeah.
Like he was like an early
adopter.
Yeah, and it didn't look good.
No, now I also heard something recently. I don't even know where on a pod. So this is all alleged. But there's a fair amount of comics who have got the plugs because they're so good now. Like that people get them like just in like very like Dan Soder, I think I heard, who's people, and I mean he was on that Billion show or whatever, so he's like acting and in stuff. But it's funny that people are like, oh no, a lot of people, it might have been Stavi, because it was like, well, why are you going to do that? And he was like, no, why would I ever do that? I mean, that would just be, that would take away from his
that would undermine his brand.
Yeah. But yeah, the amount of people who have gotten that done and have been open about it is funny, because it used to be.
Though, because when stuff's really expensive, it's for like the elite, and it's thought of as really bizarre and sort of unattainable. And once that kind of becomes normal, like a lot of people just start doing it. Like everyone gets Botox now. I remember Botox used to be something where you're like, oh, she gets Botox,
right.
He gets Botox, And now it's
it's just
people even who you don't think like have any money or would
like
give
a cashier
shit, are just like, oh yeah, I get
stores
Botox. Yeah, you're
Botox.
just like, wow.
Well, I saw a thing that it's ruined acting, which kind of makes sense in
Botox?
terms of, just the expressive nature of the face starts to fade.
I read something about how Botox, and this is just another way to shit on women, but because women are having kids later and then they get Botox because they're older and they're trying not to have their face wrinkle. So then their kids can't read their face when they're little, and that's important. That's like affecting a generation. I'm like, I don't know.
That's what the anti-maskers said too.
It just feels like if that's like, okay, the only person in your life is your mom and you're like living in a weird windowless, like if you're living a whole full life, I don't feel like your mom getting a little bit of Botox is going to fuck you up that much.
Yeah, I think you're right.
As much as anything else. Haven't gotten it yet myself.
No, I don't think, I mean, would you?
I really waffle. Because part of me is like, no, and no judgment to anyone who gets it.
Of course.
But part of me is like, we have to take a stand at some point that like aging is okay and
light touches.
I have to like live my reality.
Yes.
Also, it's expensive
if
you don't have extra money lying around. Like I could get how I could prioritize that, like if I didn't have a kid or whatever.
Yes.
Throw it on a credit card, but I don't really think I could do that right now.
Another monthly charge seems to be a bit, because wouldn't you do it like every couple months? Or?
I think every like 4 to 6 months.
Oh. So some people overdo it, because you see people sometimes where if they were going to a premiere or something, they're like maybe got it sooner than they normally would, or you see people on the red carpet sometimes, you're like, ooh, what the fuck?
Woof, yeah. It's really interesting because work has gotten so good, like you're saying, the hair plugs, that it is possible, but I'm sure people still get taken for a ride because not everyone performing everything is doing it perfectly. Like,
no, and especially if you're trying to get it on the run and you're like,
everyone's an artist.
Yes, exactly. I'm going now. This isn't my normal person. I'm just trying to get a quick.
And it's become kind of a status. Like, again, it used to be, there's been an evolution of that. Like, you used to judge if you could tell someone has work, and now sometimes the point is to tell.
Yes.
Like, there's the thing, the lip flip, where you can always tell, where they just give a little here.
Yes, a little plumper.
And that's the thing, people are like, oh, look, they have a lip flip. I have a lip flip. She has a lip flip. That guy got a lip flip. And it's like, it's not like derogatory anymore.
No, it's not. It has been normalized outside of Hollywood. It's now normalized.
Which I feel many ways about.
Well,
it's kind of like how it's like not people. There's no shame anymore.
No.
So that feels like it is an issue because this is terrible. Everyone's going to hate me for saying this because I should just be like, everyone do what you want. But it's kind of how it's like okay to do ads now as a celebrity.
Yes.
Where I feel like you should be
embarrassed.
Yeah, I feel like it should be embarrassing to shill. And I feel like maybe it should be a little embarrassing to be like.
Yes, you shouldn't be as open with. Yeah.
No, but I don't. That's talking through that now. I don't really think people should like hide things or be secretive. That's almost worse because they're like, no, I guess I just aged better than you. It almost like makes people feel like paranoid and bad.
Yes.
And
well, it's like then you get into Kylie Jenner saying I've only had a little bit. You know what I mean?
Nicole Kidman's like I've never done anything, and you're like the only thing drawing attention to that is you like saying that over and over again.
That's
because
right.
You're like 59 and you're have a different face.
Yeah,
than you did.
Kidman's done some things that are,
which is fine.
Yeah,
again,
sure.
But I think coming out and making a big deal about when they just go, I just drink water and wear sunscreen, and you're like, oh, that's weird because you literally did a face off.
Yeah, you're definitely a different person.
It's not explaining that.
In no world would you be able to open your iPhone with facial recognition from 5 years ago.
Right.
Like you wouldn't, your phone wouldn't recognize you.
So
don't expect us to. But again, you're like, who cares if you just do it? But I think I guess with Kidman, I think maybe just old school and being weird. Kylie Jenner is because she's selling products that she's like, she's making a business decision by being like, no. All this stuff I shill through my makeup line and my.
That's weird. I thought the Kardashians were very open about.
Kim is. No, Kylie Jenner, I remember and this could also now maybe be not, but there was something with her and Chalamet, and they said, and it came up, and she was like, well, I've only ever had, like, I think it was maybe like a little bit of a, what would you say, tightening or a Botox thing here or there. I think she basically was just like saying she never had a nose job. She never had but I'm like boobs, ass, nose, face, mouth, everything.
Is the big one.
Every part.
I feel bad even.
No, I know, but yes.
Yes, though. I think if you're a billionaire and you're putting yourself out there and you're selling products and you're saying that these products are doing a certain thing and that's like just totally like in your face lie, I think that's up for discussion.
It just looks maxing at the end of the day.
Which is fine.
Back to that. Yeah, it's clever. Yeah.
But like her work is good. Like her face looks good.
Jenner.
Yeah.
It's the best version of that. Yeah. I mean, she's a billionaire, so you'd hope that, although Bezos' wife.
Well, Travolta has a couple bucks, and like somebody like did something really weird to him.
Someone did something really weird to him.
Hair plug wise.
Yes. He got in. He did something really weird to other people that had nothing to do with plugs. Oh, maybe. Anyway.
Just some young men in the bathhouse.
He got, you're right that he was on the early train, which so there was a period for men with hair, which has always been funny because some people would just, I guess we didn't see this. He might be the closest version of this in Hollywood that we've ever seen. But I think of like Marv Albert, who's a legendary play-by-play basketball announcer. One of the best, probably the best. His hair. Mm-hmm. Like I was watching an old 90s NBA playoff game just for fun. And in the middle of the night. Just in the middle of the night. And he comes on with this, the toupee. It's just so funny to me. It's been said a million times, but like how is that? No one cares if you're like the bald, he's not an attractive person. Mm-hmm. Yes, he is on camera for the pregame, but then he's just his voice. Like you're just listening to him. So it's like, it's weird to me that guy's like, no, I'm going to put something on that's clearly fake to just have people go to draw attention to it. Like no one would be like, oh, bald Marv Albert. They'll go Marv Albert with that terrible toupee. So I feel like with Travolta, he was trying to do the thing where he's like, oh, I made my comeback as, with Tarantino and Pulp Fiction. My hair is going. I need to like get a rush job. So he had to try to stay out of the public eye. Right. Whereas now you just go to, where is it, Turkey or whatever? You take like a weekend
I forget where you do what. There's a tooth place, a hair place.
The butts or the Brazil. I think that.
Mexico's veterinary services. Yes. But there are like you could like do like a global kind of.
Yes.
Where?
That would be a nice little travelogue to start. To be like, I'm just going to completely redo everything.
You come back from your year abroad. You look fabulous, and your dog's as healthy as a horse.
Yeah. Yes.
What did you get done to your Labrador?
Got some
everything.
I got the veneers on this Labrador. There's a lot to do. There's a lot out there to do.
What I want to say though about that really quickly, and this applies to everybody, is like maybe it's for yourself.
Yeah.
Which I know then you're like, but we don't live in a vacuum and it's societal pressures and like whatever. But if you're like, nobody cares about that guy's hair and anyone he asked would agree with that, maybe he cares.
But then that's where I would say someone should step in who cares about him and should actually say, I do understand. If you're saying, I'm so self-conscious of being bald that to be confident in my voice and the play-by, like to be able to do yes and to do all my stuff, I need to feel a certain way. I would just say to him as the other person, like, but just so you know, like, I don't know where that's coming from because you're not fooling anyone. Like to get the new hair plug thing and be like, yeah, go for it. Then all of a sudden you just look like someone who has hair. Like I can't tell for some of these new people that people are naming who got these plugs. We know some people personally who got these plugs in Turkey or whatever country.
Do we?
Yes, we do.
Tell me off mic.
Off mic. Well, no, I mean, he's publicly said it. Who?
Oh, okay.
Anyway, yes, someone we know who was public about their journey.
Well, I know someone too.
And he looks like he has.
My friend's cousin did it, and he looks like he has
looks like he has hair. You couldn't tell that unless if he didn't openly say it.
Yeah, it's fine. I think it's weird, and it's like fine. Yeah. It's as fine as anything else. I take back everything I said. Go for it. Everybody go for whatever. What I think is interesting though is like owning it, because like I saw a picture of your father. What's his name? Crosby.
Oh my! I was like Fast Freddy.
No, your real father, David Crosby, and he just has the thinning hair, and it's like great. It's just like his look,
Yes.
It's like John Candy. He's just kind of big, and it's great.
Well, I was gonna,
like it's just like these like power looks, and I understand not everyone has a power look per se by our standards, whatever the hell they are these days. But there's just something about just being like, here I am, But whatever.
Yeah. I think it also depends on the rest of you. Like I think like we were saying with like someone like Stavi or whatever, if you're owning all of it, then that is weird to then just focus on being like, I need my hair to be a certain way. Whereas like Crosby had a look outside,
you know
what I'm saying?
But it's like, which came first, the chicken or the egg?
That's
because
right.
we think of somebody as having a look when they just own their look.
You're right.
And then maybe they're the first one to have that look. I don't mean ever in the world, but like to embrace that, and then all of a sudden it tells everyone else, like, you can have that look.
Yeah.
That look's a thing. Like, I bet Stavi has affected some people who were like, I look a certain way, I'll never be whatever. And it's like, just be like funny and confident and
go
kind and get the hell out there.
Yes.
And they're like, okay, I bet that's
and men
like,
have always had, of course, more leeway with that. But I do think that there's, well, you brought up, so John Candy's interesting because I had two thoughts watching that doc. You brought up about his.
Spoiler,
John Candy was a larger fellow.
I'm saying spoiler for the doc.
Spoiler for the doc. Well, I'm not even, he basically, the idea that one, you were like, it's funny that he was considered, because he's not even like, he's not Farley, he was a big guy. As he got older, we saw some of those other photos. Like he had the double, triple chins, the jowls were big, but he was like, when he first came onto the scene, he was just like a bigger, like it's thinking of relative to what we all look like now. Most of us are pretty beefy and pretty big as a country. So it's just funny that he by Hollywood standards, of course, was always like, you're the fat guy. But it's like he wasn't even like out of control size-wise. I'm trying to frame it.
I don't want to say out of control about.
You know what? I'm just speaking.
I know.
I'm speaking as someone who
I feel like we're in weird
comparing
territory. Like I don't really want to do the body thing.
Sure. Well, then the last thing I'll say
we're an eternal.
This has nothing to do with the body. This is more.
How about the mind? How about the soul?
So here's where it has to do with the soul. Walking away from that doc, what I thought, and I had trouble putting my finger on it. I was talking to friends recently saying like, yeah, the movies are not, like we've just fallen off so dramatically. And it's so clear to me when you kind of look at, not even like, well, when I was a kid, it's like just literally look at what movies, we're talking about popular now, what's in the theaters, what's up for awards, what's killing at the box office, all that shit. What do we all know? Every year you can pull like 20 movies that were made that year. If you just start looking at how they've fallen off, and I think one big part of it is there is no John Candy now.
Right.
So it's like, and you've said before about leading men, just to get back to the body stuff just a little bit, but like a Bruce Willis or Ed Harris now
thinning
like
hair, like kind of a interesting face, but still handsome or still beautiful.
Everything's been so distilled. It's almost like everything has been building into this AI takeover in a way where it's like everyone starts to look. There's 3 looks that you can have as a man or a woman.
Yeah.
There is no John Candy. There are no movies, Planes, Trains, like a movie like that.
There's no Sigourney Weaver.
Even like they try to do.
Anymore, though.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Sigourney Weaver and John Candy
just
are
no,
two
like,
great.
There's no people who like look really cool and interesting and beautiful in their own way, but don't fit into this. Like that I will say about plastic surgery, and I'm fine going on the record about that, is I do not like everyone looking the same.
No.
The sameness is very disturbing to me.
Yeah, agreed.
The
and I don't
one thing, and you can tell like everyone will get the same. Whatever. I don't even want to get into the procedures. I know this because of on Instagram too much, but like the same stuff done, and their face just slowly morphs into one face, and I find that actually deeply disturbing.
It is, and I think I don't know the chicken or the egg with this one either, but the look, but also the soul, the presence, the who is this? Like, what is this person bringing to the big screen? And we were saying some of those scenes from Uncle Buck, from Great Outdoors, from even Home Alone stuff. Like there was a depth, an emotional depth to it.
And a
that
warmth
was both
to the
silly
comedy.
and the big characters, but then it was also like, Planes, Trains. Those moments, that back and forth with him and with Steve Martin berating him. It's like, you just see those moments. I'm like, I just don't, even when they try to do that now, it's very hollow. I'm like trying to think of an example of a buddy comedy there's that one with Mark Wahlberg, and it was directed by Farrelly brother. It was like an Amazon original thing or whatever, but they go to the World Cup. It's like Balls Up or something. There's just
Nuts Out.
Well, it's like that Straight Man.
Nuts Out would be a good Knives Out like porn
parody.
spoof,
yes,
yeah.
We miss those as well now. We don't get as many of those great porn
Nuts
parodies
Out?
as we used to, because they just don't make feature length.
Edward Penis Hands or whatever.
The best, truly the best. They sequeled that one. That was so good. Edward Penis Hands too.
Hard to do the topiary with those.
It is. That was a great film though.
I did not see it.
I had the 2.
You saw both?
Yes. Wow. I had the second. I had on VHS. I had the second one.
See, that's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. I need to get a VCR so we can get it back.
We can get a VCR.
Yeah, there's a lot of just that soul that is like, no wonder we've gotten to the point. I've said this with music too, which I think people say with music a lot, oh, you're just getting old. I think with movies is less of that, but I still think it's like there was just an era, and it was not an era of like when I was a kid. I'm like talking an era of like 70 years.
Right.
Where it was
no,
one
and I always
thing
push
that
back, and I'm like, no, that's just because we don't, And something else will spring up, but there has been a flattening. The face is looking the same, everything's sounding the same. The cold lighting, the austerity, like in the look of things, it's like very sterile and like gray, and this is the cold. Oh yes, with like It's all kind of one thing. It's like putting us into one thing, one flat little. I don't know. It's bad.
And for all of all the gripes you could certainly have, politically, economically, whatever, with the country, I think that's what's missing now from this moment, which is drawing people into very strange corners of the internet and beyond, is like, there isn't that, like, people desperately want that escape. Like, there's just, there isn't that escape valve that's quality enough. Like, of course you can still just go see shit, but you're like, what? None of this is really feeding the soul to like march forward. I
also think that like we got the rug pulled out from us too, though, because there is this nostalgia for a texture and a warmth and a grit and a whatever. But then you find out like Bill Cosby. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's like there's this thing in your mind and your heart is like, or the Cosby Show. This is just one example, but of like just something like positive. That sounds so cheesy, but like warm and wonderful and kind of funny and like a PC and like I don't know, like people like just talking about a certain era of like what you saw in your childhood or whatever, or like, and then you just like are like, oh no, there were always just horrific things going on. Of course, I know we're talking about everything at once right now, but that kind of then you're like, then what are we want to get back to what? Like even that golden age of Hollywood with like the Mavericks or whatever. It was all these like
there was,
and then you like hear about these men,
awful predatory behavior.
Well, they're predatory, but they're also just like awful misogynists and like holding people down and shitting on them. It's like that thing about Burt Reynolds and how off he was to Sally Field.
Yes.
It's like you just hear about things and like you're thinking about him like naked on that bearskin and
rug,
like with a cigarette, and like to me there's these things that are iconic, and I'm sure we all have like versions of that, and then you're just like, no, that was like a horror show. That was actually a complete fucking horror show, but it was shot on film or like I don't know.
Even the John Hughes, like we were looking in that doc, and you're just like, oh yeah, those as beautiful as it was to be like, oh, John Hughes and John Candy were super tight and we're doing all this stuff, and it's like
that Aquarius-Scorpio partnership can't be stopped.
You called it up.
I've gotten compulsive now with looking up the birthday.
I know, but what's funny is you usually get it when you float it. You usually get it right. I will say, for whatever that's worth.
Love it or hate it.
This motherfucker is an Aquarius, and then you look it up and you're like, and yes.
I think my number one like astrology is real thing, because I've never been somebody who's like gonna beat someone over the head with that, is just the ability to guess somebody's sign. Like, what is that? How is that possible?
Because I think if you get their essence, then if there's any,
but I'm saying there's that wouldn't
then
that
there would
be,
have to be, yeah. I agree. I don't know if we're doing selective, but I don't know what your shooting percentage actually is, because really, if you're doing,
you only remember when you really nail.
And there's only 12 options, so
Well, there should be 13.
There shouldn't there? Mm-hmm. Based on the Gregorian chants, or the whatever, the calendar. Yeah.
Well, that's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit.
Well, I'm just. The oldest way to tell time, other than like night and day, it's like menstrual cycles. And they're roughly every 28 days. That means there's 13 a year. There's 13 moons a year. If you had 13 28-day months a year, you'd have 364 days. That's like the perfect, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and they just fucked up all the months.
Because of the farmers?
Got rid of a sign.
Was it the agricultural muscle that made that what it is? Or?
I feel like agriculture would be more true to the natural.
You would think,
like, because the moons and the tides and the sun and the seasons, and I don't know.
Was it Hallmark?
No. I think it was religion.
Interesting.
I think they came in, they co-opted. They're like, oh, this isn't this like pagan festival anymore. It's when Jesus came back, and they like jammed everything together.
Yes.
And to get all the like pagan peasants on board with the New World,
Pagan peasants, yes.
Yeah, and they just kind of like, it's very weird.
And then, of course, the work week stuff on top of that. Then just the corporate, this obviously the days of the week have been around for hundreds of years. I don't know, when were the days of the week invented?
Well, I don't know about like actually the ideas of the days, but I will say I was researching like the pagans of Britain before it was Britain, and it was like Anglo-Saxon. So it's basically like the Danish and northern German people coming over, Dark Ages is right. You're not supposed to say that anymore. I guess that's derogatory, but it was like
towards the ages.
Kind of, because apparently there were a lot of good things going on, but there just wasn't a lot of recording of it. But it felt like, whatever. And I did read that the days of the week are all like, as we know them, the names for them are based on pagan gods.
Gods, yeah. Tues and Wens.
Yes.
And Turs.
That's it. It's so funny how I just read this whole Wikipedia and now.
Sunday's named in the honor of the sun.
Wow. You're like, and who put the sun in there?
Monday's Moon Day, of course. Tuesday, rooted in Tuesday.
Yeah, it's TWI.
TIW.
Yeah, that's like the pagan.
You're right, the god of war.
I don't know how you say that.
The Norse Germanic god of war.
Yeah, but they all came over and were like hanging out on the island that we now think of as England, Scotland. Yes.
Yep. Wednesday's Woden's Day.
Yeah, Woden. Which is Odin is the
Mercury.
I'm just saying that's like you can see where the Norse meets the
the Norse meets the South.
Okay.
Thor's Day, of course.
Thor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Frigg's Day. for Friday, honoring the Norse goddess of love and beauty, equivalent to Venus.
This friggin' thing.
This friggin' day. Thank God it's Frigg's Day. The only day retaining its direct Roman origin, honoring Saturn, the god of agriculture, is Saturday. Saturn Day.
Saturn Day in the park.
Oh, it must have been the 4th of Frigg's Day.
Yeah. So basically the Roman Empire, I mean, everything's like influencing each other. But then there's the fall of Rome. Mm-hmm. And then stuff gets a little weird, like who's going where when.
Yes.
It just depends how far back you go.
I don't want to go too far back, but into the what would you call the ages then? Instead of the Dark Ages.
Well, no, it's not like Dark Ages is a bad word. It's like medieval times is kind of split into like, the early and the later periods. And they were like, we don't really refer to it as the Dark Ages anymore.
Medieval times is a funny place to go.
Oh, you mean as a restaurant?
As a restaurant. You're
like, you get in that phone booth and go to the medieval.
That's right.
Medieval.
Wait, I don't want to let Bert off the hook too quickly here because this story was really like, it's funny because there's obviously so many...
Burt Reynolds. I was like, what?
I don't want to let Frigg's Day off.
I don't want to let Thor off the hook here.
He, it's kind of outside of full-on, predatory, Cosby, Polanski, whatever. Outside of that realm, this almost is like the nastiest bullshit.
That's kind of what I mean. Is like it doesn't even always have to be
insecure douche to Sally Field. And I believe, of course, she's not going to just start popping off for no reason about that.
No. So she says in her book, for the listeners, that Burt Reynolds was like, they had an on again, off again thing. He was like pretty shitty to her, but she's young. It's the time period. She's like probably feeling really lucky
70s.
To be with Burt. He didn't like kids. He didn't like her kids. Her kids made him uncomfortable. Yeah. She had 2 boys. So she would, put them to bed and her mom would be over and she'd run over to Bert's and probably fucking fillate him all night or whatever the hell's going on.
Probably get on that bearskin rug and go to town.
And then sneak out in the morning ass early. This is run home, get her kids off to school, make their lunches and all that stuff. Because he didn't like her children. And then he was always kind of putting her down and putting down her roles. And then she got the script for Norma Ray and he was read it. He wanted to. She didn't even ask him to apparently. And he said it was total shit.
And she shouldn't she shouldn't take the role.
Yeah. And he hated it and threw it across the room. I think he just was threatened by her success. And then obviously she did Norma Ray anyway. And he wouldn't go to the Oscars with her because
when she won the Oscar, she won.
Yeah, but he felt threatened that she was doing well. And he was so shitty about it to her.
And can you imagine being I really think you should not do this movie. And then you do it and you win the Academy
He wouldn't
Award?
Go to Cannes with her. He wouldn't. And then he was cheating on her. And then she, there were all these rumors of him cheating on her. And so he bought her this yellow Corvette. And she's like, I have 2 kids. I can't put them in here. And we've never talked about sports cars.
I'm not someone who likes sports cars. He's just just being I'm going to buy you a thing.
But you're you're just this shitty, mean-spirited, narcissist who I'm just elaborating on you being you're just this shitty kind of person.
He had another thing too. Didn't he have was it on Carson? He got into
She's a Scorpio. I love Sally Field. I just want to say that while you're looking that up.
Yes. No, Sally Field.
Sally Field in the park.
It also came around to what we were talking about with when people get in the cycle or in the algorithm, they're in there. But we both saw the thing we said about her being on Mrs. Doubtfire's set. She's being Robin Williams is somewhat insufferable. She didn't say as much.
No,
but
she just said he made everyone else laugh and she didn't make him laugh.
She didn't think he was funny, which what I get about that is if you had to do, 12-hour days.
He
with
broke.
Him just doing bits. That's all he could communicate.
Well, he didn't break, but he would make everyone else break. And I think it ruined a lot of takes. So I think she's just, a professional.
She's a pro.
But then she said, Pierce, what's his name? Brosnan?
Yes.
He just had a whoopee cushion or something, or he made a fart noise.
That's right. Yeah.
And she lost it and laughed for 2 hours. And Robin was like, is that what you think is funny?
Yeah, you just needed a fake fart. So Mark Summers. This was the thing I remembered. 1994. Burt Reynolds and Mark Summers got into it on the Tonight Show. There's a clip of the Notorious standoff. I think this was real. Scene pay for.
But wasn't Mark Summers the host of Double Dare?
Yeah. So
Why
basically on Jay Leno's
Show?
Tonight Show in 1994.
Oh, that was like a big time for him.
That episode had already been fraught with drama, seeking payback for a cutting joke about his nasty divorce from Lonnie Anderson. Oh yeah, Leno would cut deep in the lamest ways. Like Leno would always be like, "I'm going to go at somebody's personal life. I'm not going to really say anything political that'll have too much weight or punch up in any way. I'm just going to like shit on somebody for their divorce." But Burt Reynolds had cut through Leno's necktie with scissors earlier in the program. I remember just seeing this clip. Having been bumped numerous times and only narrowly avoiding being bumped again in favor of Carrot Top.
Oh, God.
Summers was understandably nervous when he strode onto the set of The Tonight Show, and then water gets thrown and a pie. Like they start one-upping each other where Mark Summers is like, Burt Reynolds, I'm not going to let you bully me. Basically, and Burt Reynolds was just being a dick, and he like threw like his mug of water on him. So then he threw it back at him. Like, but this was all real. It came out that they were.
See, this is the TV we need.
This is what we need coming back. See now. Now
I have some news.
James Fallon would not allow. What's that?
So I said Sally Field's a Scorpio.
Son of a gun.
Guess what Burt Reynolds is?
An Aquarius?
Can you believe it?
Yes,
and we were just talking about, I know. I mean, it can go one of two ways. But I think that it can be a PC, but it's not if one person's a total piece of shit.
That also, I think, supersedes, is that the right word? Any sort of astrological
of
is
course,
like, are you just a fucking
dickbag?
Bag?
Yeah. Well, and I want to give another example of like not an abuser, as far as I know, not whatever, but just kind of a bummer to hear about. And it's like Jack Nicholson.
Oh, I mean,
I know, but I like want to love
horrors,
Jack.
Of course, we all do.
Okay, well, I'll just say the parts that you can fill me in on the horrors. But just finding out that how shitty he was to Angelica Houston, and that he just kind of like kept her at bay just long enough that she couldn't really ever have a true partnership with him or have her own family, and then he just kind of skipped off and like did that with somebody else. And of course I'm not a fly on that wall, I'm not trying to, but like how things sound later when stories are told and people talk about the history and that, and you're just like, God, what about it? Just reminds me of the Burt thing, because it's just like they just feel like they own the place, they're strutting around, they're just treating people like they're supporting roles in their
life,
story.
in their whole,
and that just really speaks to that time.
It does.
Obviously nothing new there, but the only point of all that was just saying, I think we idolize this period of Hollywood because there was some fucking great shit. And then you're like, all those people that are like gods to some of us.
Yes.
You're just like, oh, they're just like
mastoids.
Awful. And they didn't need to be awful.
They didn't. You know what I wonder though? They obviously didn't need to be awful in all the ways. But the bravado, it's like when we say there aren't people like even Jack or Burt, like Burt Reynolds being an A-lister now is kind of laughable based on his talent. Like
I think
Jack was
pretty
handsome.
Jack
could act.
No, Burt Reynolds is handsome.
He is in some lights, yes. Bert's got to find his light.
No.
I just mean as like a dad, though. You know, like you think about it.
No,
I know the
Murf,
style has changed.
It's the style.
You think Bert was truly like the Gosling of his time?
For that time, I think he was like, yes, strapping as
okay.
fuck. I think we just think of people as like a dad because when we were young, they were old and they had like a big mustache and like chest hair.
Yeah.
It was a different time.
Okay.
I'm going to say that for everything.
No, I'll buy that for $1. But what I will also say, though, is that their confidence.
You don't have to be a dick, though.
I know. No, you don't have to.
Here's an example. It's apples to oranges, so bear with me.
Yes.
John Candy. Obviously not strapping, whatever. You might be like, well, he has to be nice because he's like a character actor kind of person or whatever. But we're watching and everyone's like, he was always nice to the waiter and he always like tipped well. You do not have to be nice to the waiter. And that idea that that's like something, and I know that sounds awful because of course you should have to, but the people who are actually not pieces of shit
are just naturally
pieces of shit, because you can be a big movie star and not be a piece of shit.
That's right. You could. It's possible. Yes. I just wonder with certain personas, like the industry seems to reward the more sociopathic
Of course.
behavior.
I mean, capitalism rewards
That's right. That's in every industry. That's true. This one, I think, because it's public facing, it's so public facing. Like now, it is more so with the train of pain that we have of our tech overlords. Like they're 1 foot into the public persona. But back in the day, the business magnates were behind the scenes. They were nightmares, but they weren't out in public as much. So I guess it's true in any. Yes, it making money rewards being shitty. That is true. And I guess there's ways to do that because you'd be like, oh, you don't have to be shitty like to the waiter. And I'm like, but these people would be shitty to their fucking wives.
I know, but I don't think that's necessary.
No, of course not. No.
You know what it is? I think the people who made it are the dickbags, because the people who were soft inside, like were crushed by it.
Yes,
by seeing the horrors and pulling back the curtain.
They were like, I don't want to
like
do
James
this.
Dean was apparently a nice guy, you know?
Right. Well, there was someone, yes. Well,
like
yeah,
you're just
they end up riding themselves into a
you just have to drive 800 miles an hour because you're like,
I can't with this.
Everything is awful.
Who is someone who I was wondering in that doc, I can't even remember who it is now, but I was like, where the hell did they go? And it made me realize, I was like, why did they just stop?
Rick Moranis stepped away.
Well, Moranis stepped away.
Which I respect so much.
Big time. He officially was
Honey,
like,
I shrunk my career.
Yes.
I just wanted to say Ryan Gosling, again, not
Mr.
knowing everything,
Gosling.
but like literally the leading man of our time right now, inarguably Ken, doesn't seem like a piece of shit.
No, he doesn't. I also think now, like, I think there was a level of debauchery.
I know, but I want to love the debauchery. I'm like, why can't
consensual debauchery is all we're asking. What I was going to say about Jack is obviously the whole Polanski thing was, Polanski's crimes against humanity were on Jack's watch.
Wasn't
Jack's
Jack
house.
also on the boat when Natalie Wood
went?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Jack knows where all the bodies are buried. That's
and it's
for
in
sure.
the Pacific
and
Ocean.
It's in his backyard and in the ocean.
Right off the moor of his boat. That wasn't his boat, but
yeah, no, I think he's and also he's
Jack's
a unique,
dirty.
like terrible. I mean, Brando has his issue. You can go through that whole era, and it's like, yeah, it was led by maybe not all. You're right. You don't have to be a dickbag, but because you're also a fucking actor. You're not I can see the argument that to be a president, all of them are awful in just the sense that this job and how you would get to be that and why you'd want to be that, like all those things, like there becomes an archetype that you can't avoid of being president. As much as we want to be like, rah, rah, we like this guy. He was nicer than that guy. But it's like they're all terrible.
I think the problem there is by the time you get to that level of office, you've needed to take so much money because it's so expensive to run that even if you are the like 1 out of a million that didn't start off like as a terrible person,
you just become.
Well, you just owe people favors.
You do.
Like it's not, you're a puppet at that point.
That's right.
Regardless.
Even if you have made you get all the accolades publicly, you still have your strings attached.
I don't want to lose
like
this,
Ellen
though.
or Oprah.
I don't want to lose consensual debauchery because I think that is what the goal.
That is the goal.
Like to me, equitable consensual debauchery. Like I love that wild feeling of like being comfortable with a group of people and getting to like feel a little crazy and not have everything planned and in its right place, maybe just for a night, maybe for a weekend or whatever. I think that's on the table. I'm not saying everybody needs to
no, we want that. That's what we want out of life.
I actually think that's something that can be utopian.
Yes.
I don't think it has to be hierarchical.
No. I think, you know what else it is about Hollywood that, we on the, the smallest possible rung of that ladder, but still even seeing like plenty of terrible shit and decisions that are made is like, it's the gatekeepery type of industry. Like that's why I don't mean to like pick on Hollywood because I know it exists and it is part of capitalism. All of that is literally like part of capitalism is fucking working at Starbucks. Like what a manager, like shitty things that happen there.
Literally every facet of our lives.
But I think in addition, I think what makes Hollywood even worse than I'm just thinking of why that is. It's also the egos and it's all that. But then it is the gatekeeping side of it where it's like nothing is openly like, in any way where it's like, oh, you always have to. So if you're not that one doing that, you also better shut the fuck up about it and just go about your business and not worry about what Jack and Roman are doing over here.
Like, but I think it's very funny to worship just culturally Mavericks who are not at all Mavericks. They're doing the tale as old as time, the gross little hierarchical bullshit, and they're playing the game. Where I think the true Maverick move would be like everybody owning the movie who makes it, like we've talked about, and everybody goes to the party and is having a good time.
That would be
There's not like a second and third class of citizen of people at the party. Be they women or whatever,
Yeah, that would be a better way to.
But it's not just better. I actually think it's like cooler. Like this idea of cool. Like I think sometimes people think like PC stuff is like a little bit like wonky or, like whatever. And it's like, no, that's actually just a better fucking party.
It is.
Because the party these guys are talking about is fun for like 3 people at the party.
Right.
Like it's stupid.
Yeah, it is. It's funny. It is funny to do. Well, it's also like, I mean, again, you go back to all the problematic things, but the heyday, like after watching this Kevin Hart roast, I was talking with a friend of ours who.
When did you watch that?
In the middle of the night, in the middle of the night, I go surfing on the interweb.
Surfing in my sleep.
I'm streaming in my sleep. This problem with this, there were some great bangers, like one-liner bangers that bandied around. These people they don't even like each other. They don't even know each other. So you go back to the Friars roast, you go back to like, I had never seen Richard Pryor's roast. It wasn't a Friars Club, I don't think, but our buddy has sent it to me because we had been talking about the Kevin Hart roast, and he was like, oh, do you remember like Robin Williams and Paul Mooney and I was like, no, I'd never seen it. So he sent me the YouTube, watched it. I mean, incredible the level of like, then it makes sense to me when these, like the bangers aren't just mean-spirited. There's a level of intimacy. There's a level of like.
Well, you're like getting somebody where it hurts because you know them. And then they know that you love each other.
Yes.
Or even if you don't love each other, that you respect each other.
Yes.
Because you're both grinding your fucking gears at the same career.
Yeah. And they're not like doing that cross promotion. Like this was at the Forum in LA. So it's this it's an arena roast where the whole arena, and it's like this huge production value and all this shit. And I'm like, because Netflix is live streaming it.
But this is the exact thing we were just talking about. It's all one thing. It's the flattening. Mm-hmm. It's the removing of the warmth. Yeah. And I'm not saying don't be mean. It's so mean-spirited now. But the problem is when shit's mean now, like comedy or whatever the fuck is on in the media, it's like hollow because it's just mean. You earn the meanness when you have the relationship, when you have the warmth. Yes. When you have the texture.
Like a friendship, layers. Like you would do with your good friends where you're like, it becomes just more ball busting. Yeah. Yeah. In a funny way. And then you can, go to there's also the whole thing with like writers, which everyone always has like I know Michael Che came out. There's something about the writing staff where it was like, oh yeah, some of these terrible jokes. And then you're like, look at these, whoever the writers, like I think Shane Gillis brought on like a group of writers, which of course he did, but as everyone there is, especially when you have like celebrities, you have like Draymond Green going up there to do like a set, and you're like, he's not even a comedian. So obviously he's just being like, here's the writer's room. What are the 10 jokes
I would
you want
just
me
say
to
that
deliver?
It's become something different.
Yeah.
Like now, because you're right. You're like, if they have writers, I have to have writers. And it's not even about shitting on anyone for doing anything. It's just not the same. It's not. It's not a group of people in a room who like kind of came up together or like actually overlapping.
It's why I would always say, and this is just, being a nerd, purist loser, but wow, the idea that like stand-up use, I don't think this is as much now, but I still think it goes on to some degree. I'd have to I meant to actually look into this separate, but now that we're just even talking about it, but the writers for stand-up, so like why, the Carlin Pryor 1A, 1B thing is always like Pryor had Paul Mooney among others, like writing for him. Yeah. Who were fucking great. And that just is its own thing. Whereas like, if you're just a stand-up who's like, this is my voice and I write all of my material, it's just a funny thing that used to be. And I think it fell out of fashion, but now I'm not so sure if there are people.
That still seems like its own thing, though, because you're like, this is my career writing partner. It's not like I hired you for 2 weeks for this roast to come in.
Well, that's a different, right. Yeah, versus my special. This is my stand-up special, right. But it's been written by 3 people and me. Like, that's just an interesting, it doesn't diminish as long, if it's funny, it's funny. Who cares about how the sausage is made? But I think if you're, again, that's why I was saying the nerd loser, if you're just like, well, There's something about someone just
telling
saying
their own story.
Yeah, and I'm doing my own material versus like
something to that.
Bringing on writers to, which I think a lot of people in the 80s did. The 70s and 80s had like.
I don't think it's like good or bad. I think it's just acknowledging that those are different animals.
Yeah.
Does that? It's like
yes.
Then I want to go back to plastic surgery.
Oh.
Or injectables. It's not good or bad. It's just a different thing.
Yes.
Like it's a beautiful thing to live in a way where you age and use your person as like a little bit of a, I don't know, almost like protest against the whatever, the shit. The shit. We know what I mean. And then it's beautiful to be like, oh, I'm living in this time where I can like do this other stuff that I love doing.
Yes.
Like it's all good. I know we have a shorter recording time today. It's a Monday, everyone.
It's a Monday. We're trying to get in where we fit in.
We got a crazy week. We're getting it where we're fit in. So if some news drops tomorrow on Tuesday when we normally record to release Wednesday, we
know that we're not ignoring. We're a day ahead.
Yeah, this week all that had dropped was Burt Reynolds was me. Sally's Field 40 years ago.
Yeah. The Strait of Hormuz still closed, et cetera, et cetera.
Et cetera. It could open tomorrow.
Oh, boy.
It's election day here in Multnomah County. I wanted to say tomorrow, but that's tomorrow.
They have the drive-up drop-offs. Have you seen these boxes? Multnomah County, you could literally just drive. They're like really trying to get people to vote.
I just dropped our ballots at the library today.
Driving up.
Yeah.
Don't have to get out of the car. I'm saying it's curbside. You just roll your window down. You can fling a ballot in.
But that makes so much sense.
Well, not if you're trying to stop the steal.
Listen, if you can, I think that it's funny. Like taxes are hard. Voting's hard. What are we doing? Like if you want people to give a shit or do anything, which obviously they don't, and that's a whole nother thing. But then it's like, yeah, it should not be easier for me to get a fucking burger in my car than it is for me to participate in, direct democracy in my community.
Yes.
The other thing I wanted to say, you coined a term last episode, algorithm osmosis. Are you familiar?
With the term I coined? Coinstar?
With the Coinstar I went to.
Do you remember Coinstar?
I love Coinstar.
We used to crush that Coinstar down at a not Citibank. What the hell is that place called? Not
you and me? Are you?
No, me and my old roommates. We used to hit up Commerce Bank it was. And you could they had, and they didn't like us either, but they had this, and yeah, you would just, you know what a Coinstar is, of course. You just go in and you can fling all of your coins. You didn't have to wrap shit. You just threw it in this big bucket.
Yeah.
And it went in.
And it's like paper clips and like condoms.
You'd try to sneak in, a couple buffalo nickels. And you'd fling them in there.
But that felt like you were making money.
It really did. You were minting money. Yeah, you were just like, oh, I am big.
And
then you'd take your $13 and you'd be like,
yeah. You take the little receipt up to the cash register and you're like $18.95.
Yeah, $18.95.
And they just hand it to you.
And here's all the shit that you almost broke the machine with. It's not money. Thank you.
Yeah, and we've turned it into a little statue of yourself.
Anyhow,
algorithm osmosis.
Okay.
I like that a lot.
All right.
Because we're in this weird time where we don't yet have language for the ways that we experience our life.
Yeah.
So people still say, I read something. What they mean is they saw it. An Instagram post or like
something passed through their brain.
Or I heard, or like, did you see? And it's like very hard to pinpoint what that means.
Yeah.
But I do think there's a vibe-based information bubbling now, which whether or not for better or worse, it's like seeping in, and it's the way you have you're like, I feel like that guy did something shitty.
I feel like Burt Reynolds sucks.
Or I feel like that doc was supposed to be good, right? And you're like, what is that? Where does that come from? Who said it?
That's right.
I just think algorithm osmosis is beautiful.
Thank you.
Are you trying to take a photo of me?
I'm trying to get a great photo of you with these glasses. No, do the there we go. The double birds. Oh, that's a good one. Great. Yeah, these shades are, I just want to say at the end, you wore these the whole episode. I want you to wear these always because it's like you're a power poker player and you're pushing in, you're going all in.
It's giving Gabby Windy. She wears sunglasses. Did you know?
Who, huh?
Gabby Windy, Robbie's wife.
Gabby Windy. Oh, yes. Gabby. She's always rocking shades.
Traitors.
I think she's a traitor.
On her pod, she wears, I've just seen clips, but she wears her sunglasses. For the listeners, I'm wearing sunglasses because
Tim Dillon often rocks shades indoors on his show.
I'm kind of a Gabby Tim hybrid.
Actually, yes.
No.
Speaking of, big boys going for it.
Speaking of big boys.
Anyhow.
No,
but the shades, there's something about shades, and there's a reason, obviously, with poker as well, at the poker table. There is it's your superhero cape. It's your mask. It's a way to ease into, which I did this once by accident at wasn't an audition. What the hell was it? I'm trying to think of when this was, but I wore, it'd be funny if you just went into every audition wearing sunglasses. There was something I remember. I'm just saying, you do feel that. If you have yours I can kind of still a little bit. I mean, we're in low light here, but see your eyes. But if you do the ones that are legit, just full on, you can't
mirrored.
See. Yeah, like you could have your eyes closed and someone wouldn't know.
Oh, I haven't had my eyes open.
I know. I think the reason I like it is because when I start going on a rant and rave sesh, you just like
you're not seeing.
I'm
the
not
eye
seeing
roll.
you slip away.
And I'm wearing these because I need prescription glasses to be able to make eye contact with you, and I grabbed the wrong ones, and here we are.
And we're here. Also,
I had one errata from last week.
Please, let's close on this.
In errata Davida, honey.
I like that we've waited till the very end.
Well, we still have more segments we have to do.
That's right.
Gene Hackman was in New Mexico, which is the first.
Thank you. The Four Corners, we weren't sure which of the corners.
Well, but Four Corners, I had said Nevada because I was just kind of describing the Southwest, and then we went to the Four Corners, but of course we missed Colorado.
That's a big one.
That's the Four Corners.
That's a big corner.
But he was in New Mexico, so he wasn't a Four Corners state.
Okay.
But he was not...
in the Four Corners we defined.
The ranching was not straddling the actual part where you can touch four states.
I tried to paint the picture that the ranch itself was if you were to go to the Four Corners... I think they have like a little monument.
You could, and they'll be like, I'm touching four states.
Yeah,
you'd
be like, get out of Gene Hackman's living room is kind of what I was saying.
Yeah, like we're still autopsying this corpse.
we still don't know what happened.
Still haven't figured out. Do we have any Hanta?
Oh, we do, as a matter of fact, dear.
What's an update
you refuse
for you?
to. Here's the problem I have with you today.
Here we go.
I've been biting my lip the whole program.
Okay.
Is you don't want to acknowledge that someone like Michael Barbaro
Barbaro?
No, just forget
Isn't it Barbaro?
Just move on. He is the host of The Daily. He's obsessed with his enunciation, his pronunciation. He would say it right. And especially with something like this. So now he's talking junta. Not junta, not like military junta. Not junta, not hanta, but junta. Hunta virus.
But he's Hunta. He's probably kind of splitting the difference. He's not saying Hunta.
He's not a splitter. I'm saying this motherfucker's in the mirror at 4:30 a.m. before they're recording, going over what he needs to say. He's that kind of guy. But anyhow, it is Hunta, not Hanta virus.
Okay.
It's Hanta. So it's Wanna Hunta. Don't you wanna? Which,
Hanta.
Fun fact too, I looked that up. Went back to the origins of the soft drink, and it's Fanta. It's not Fanta.
Murph.
Yes.
You're on thin ice. You're skating on very
wanna
thin.
Fanta? Don't you wanna Fanta?
I'm trying desperately to find a Bush thing.
Yeah, that's the only thing we have left, and then we got to go.
Oh, why don't you Bushy?
Why don't you pushy?
Why don't you Bushy? Real Rudy Giuliani.
Real Rudy.
What the fuck is this? Did we talk about how Rudy Giuliani was in the hospital?
America's mayor?
Yeah.
No. What is he? Is he? So he's alive.
I forget.
Oh wait,
why.
A new segment we could do.
Who's alive?
No, we don't want to introduce this now because we do have to go in like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So I don't want to introduce something new, but here's a teaser for a new segment. And we'll do it really quick. Do you have anyone? The new segment that I want to do that would be fun is I tell you someone, so like Rudy Giuliani.
Alive.
No. Well, a lot. So you have to guess
but
their
not
age.
well. You have to say alive and or well.
Right. So some people might be dead, but the point is you have to say how old you think they are. Because we also I was like, well, how old is Tom Hanks versus Martin Short? Because Martin Short was, 80?
Yeah.
Isn't he 80 years old?
He's 79.
Marty's 79. Oh, yeah. Steve Martin's 80 something.
Oh, no. He's 76.
He's like 76. He's like the same age as my father, I believe. Almost to the day.
Okay.
Anyway, how old?
No, because he's an Aries. Fast Freddy's is a Gemini.
Okay.
Okay.
How old do you think Rudolph Giuliani is?
Okay, I think he's alive.
He is living.
But I don't think he's well. I'm putting that, I'm doing alive or well. Or you say dead and not well, or dead and well, or alive and unwell.
We're 10 days from his birthday. We'll just say that. He was born May 28th.
Okay. Strong Gemini.
Gemini.
Just like Trump.
Yeah.
All right. So, what are you asking?
How old do you think Rudolph Giuliani is?
Okay. I think Rudy Giuliani is 84 years old.
Ooh, 81.
Damn.
He's about almost 80. He's 10 days away from being 82, so you were damn close.
Okay, I did pretty well. But I went over. Are we doing over under?
Not closest without going. Well, I already know the answer. So now you give me someone.
Okay.
This is our new segment. We each say a person.
What's the name of the segment? Dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
Age, sex. What about age, sex, location? But let's do age, alive, location.
All right. AAL. AAL?
I think we can do better than this.
We can. We'll come back. No. We'll think it through. Well, listen, we create these segments as we go. It was just something I thought was funny because we did this a bunch the one night when we were just saying.
Okay, Burt Reynolds.
Oh, good one. Burt Reynolds. So that now I'm going off of Rudolph. Burt Reynolds is probably, if he was 30 in the 70s, 80.
He's dead.
That's right.
You didn't do. You have to say alive and well. So you have to say unalive.
You're right. Unalive.
Unwell. But he
would have been 83.
He would be 90 because he was born in 36. And we're in 26 now. I know.
So you know why this is interesting to me? You start to
you
go,
were
wait a
so
minute.
far off, and it wasn't
There's
even
two things. It came organically from this program because when we talked about Kurt Loder being 80, I then lost all space and time. Like, you know what I mean? I started to be like, well, wait, so that's the thing. If Burt Reynolds is 8 years older than Rudolph, I mean, he's dead, but like, I don't know what world we're living in here because Rudolph is an ancient vampire who is 400 years old.
But I do think saying whether they're dead or alive first
is great. Is necessary.
Yes. Because otherwise the age is rough.
The age doesn't really matter. Yeah, because you could be like, would be 138.
Yeah. You're like, Jesus is.
Beethoven. All right. Well, anyway.
That was a really fun segment.
All right. Here's how we'll do bushy pushy
Wanted.
Wanted.
Age or alive. No.
Age. We'll end on this because this gets our bushy pushy in.
Oh, will you give me a bushy pushy?
John Ellis Bush. Jeb. Aged.
Why are we just doing a bunch of white men?
All right, because I'm just trying to get a Bush out there.
Sorry, what is it? Jeb? I was going to just give you G-Dubs Junes.
You should have G-Dubs June to me.
I mean, he's not a junior, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. We all say, people used to say either Bush Jr., they'd say Bush 2. They'd say, what else would they say? I mean, W, but.
W was the big one.
But you still want to know. All right, just go ahead because we got to end.
Okay, sorry. Jeb is, I would say, is probably right around.
Well, first off, alive or dead?
Alive.
Yes, alive. He is alive.
Jeb is alive, and he's probably doing pretty well. Mm-hmm. I'd say alive and well.
Good genetics in that family.
Well, good health care.
Health-wise. And money, right.
That's not genetics.
Yeah, but you can't have one without.
Genetically, I'm rich. Jeb is 86.
73.
Damn. I really
was a baby boy.
Oh.
I don't know if he was the baby boy.
I forgot he was the baby. I was actually
he might be
thinking
the baby
he was
boy.
older.
Anyhow.
No, W is the oldest. I remember that.
Retroactively. Bushy Pushy Podcast. Which basically we just try to prove that we're not artificial intelligence by mentioning Bush, The Bush dynasty in some way, shape, or form every episode. What a strong way to end.
It's also clear now. I really feel like this was like truly slap because we just popped off.
We're
like, injectables, good, bad, like what?
Also, the Martin Short doc, of course, our dear patron saint of the pod, Jiminy Glick. I went to top 5 comedic characters of all time. I'm actually going to go top 3. Well, because I don't think Martin Short, just what I thought of watching that, his character work, I'll say for me personally, leaves a bit to be desired but except Jiminy gave us like, Jiminy is Hall of Fame for me, but a lot of his other stuff, I'm just
but those people had to crawl so that others could walk.
Sure.
Is that how it is? Run, walk so that others.
A lot of just corny.
I just mean it's easy to look back and be like, oh, that's so one note or cheesy, or they just pulled their pants up. Like that wouldn't do it for me. But we got to live in a world where that had already happened.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say about Jiminy Glick earlier is we said comedy is like too mean or something. We're not saying that. We're just saying it's only mean.
Yeah.
That is mean, but it is so deeply insightful.
Yeah.
In the way it is mean that there is like an understanding of human beings.
Yeah, yes.
That is so good.
So funny. Yeah.
Jiminy Glick, I think that's definitely in my top 5.
Yes, me
You're
too.
saying top 3.
I might even adjust now as I'm thinking about it more. He's a top 3 character for me. Like I've always found everything, even after the bit, the voice, the whole thing. Still, like it's like, and I went back and rewatched just the Comedy Central run that's only available on like ripped on YouTube and various scattered around the internet, but. Can't like officially watch that, I don't think, anymore for whatever reason.
Jiminy Glick?
Yeah, like there's no Comedy Central. Like you can't just go. There's none of the streamers, I think, have the show. I think you just have to watch it on YouTube. But I did go back and watched all of it, and it's they're just great. Especially some of the sketches and stuff are not like the opening.
Oh, the show. No, the show wasn't great.
No, but the interviews from
great.
The show. Yeah. The filler stuff was like hit or miss, mostly miss. But
I really liked when he first dropped and people didn't know it was Martin Short.
Yes.
And there's great videos of him on the red carpet.
Yeah,
people are like, Jesus Christ.
Crushing it.
Yeah, literally. Okay. I love you.
I love you, dear. Take good care.
Thanks for fitting me in this week.
Oh, always. Thank you for keeping your eyes open, as far as I can tell, for this whole episode.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care.